My wife and I traveled for about 15 years, and we came home and I'd sold my camper and we moved into an apartment, and we was driving down Douglas one day and I was bored stiff trying to figure out something to do, and we passed a Red Cross chapter down there on Douglas, and I said, let's go in and see if they can use any volunteers. So I went in and met this lady that worked there, Nancy Anderson. Nancy says, we can use you. So I went in and signed the papers, and she says, what are you doing right now? And I says, nothing.
Next thing I know, they put us to work folding t-shirts that day. And that's been a little over 2.5 years ago.
I went to a orientation, and Dicey gave me a list of all the stuff I had to take before I could go on deployment, because I didn't realize how entailed it was. I thought, well, this is easy. I've always wanted to go out maybe and work for Red Cross. I said, I'll go down, maybe I can go out tomorrow or something and work. I didn't realize you had to take a bunch of classes, so I spent probably the next week and a half, 2 weeks, from about 10 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, doing online classes, getting qualified to where I could go on deployment.
So Dennis is a great volunteer. He came in kind of cold, if you will, and they says, would you work in the warehouse? And he says, sure. So the previous warehouse guy says, okay, you got it, and left. And so he started in probably managing the warehouse by himself with no real introduction to it and break-in period. He just had to take it over. And he organized it, categorized it, and put it all on shelving and moved everything off to where suddenly we had a wide open warehouse with lots of floor space that we hadn't had since I've been with the chapter.
And then I think after that, we had a flood in Texas, so I drove an IRV down and I fed for 2 weeks in Texas. And then we had a flood in Baton Rouge, so I went to Baton Rouge and I drove the IRV down there and fed down there for 2 weeks. And then I came back here and I was made logistics warehouse supervisor here. And then we moved from down there to here, and I've been still in the process of trying to get this warehouse here in order. You don't want to see it, it's a mess.
He's a busy guy. When he retired, you know, he's done a number of different jobs in his lifetime and had different activities. But you know, I think it's just trying to help other people. His passion for the rest of humanity, to help him and care for him, what have you, and this is the way he can do it.
Where does he get his passion for working so hard with the Red Cross?
Because he feels like that he's giving back something that was given to him. To look at the man, you would never guess that he has been taken off his work at Boeing due to a diagnosis of emphysema, asthma, and COPD. They told him if he didn't quit smoking, he'd probably have a year to live. And he went cold turkey, totally.
You know, a lot of times we think of the hero as a person standing there in the IRV handing out food and stuff like that, and Dennis has done that. But Dennis is very, very good at helping other people, and he supports us out there in front of the clients by doing the logistics warehouse and getting us what we need when we need it. And you call him up and say, I need 10 plates to serve people with, and boy, you just get them right away, and he takes care of it and fills out the paperwork. And so his clients is all the Red Cross people in logistics. So
I'm just an average Joe out there working for Red Cross, doing something I love doing. You know, I don't consider myself a hero at all. The real heroes, is like I said, is the ones down there that got flooded last year, and they come around to turn this year, just about a year and a half later, and their house is destroyed again. And instead of giving up, they're out there, they got their head up and they pitched in there and they're doing it all over again. That's a real hero, you know, okay? They don't know the meaning of the word quit. They just keep going.